we'll be making a crazy cone head. So get your hands warmed up and ready to go. Hey, morning plant beast. To start with, you'll need a piece of paper or card. You'll also need some scissors, a bowl or plate, a pencil, tape, glue dots or glue, some pens to decorate, pom-poms and pipe cleaners. Start with the card, plate and pencil. Using the pencil, draw around the plate to get a nice circle. Now with your scissors, carefully cut it out. Hang on to the scraps because we can use those later on. Now, cut out a cake slice from your circle, like this. It should be about this size, and again, keep hold of it for later. Using your glue dots or tape, stick some on one side of the slice. Then, carefully slide the other side over the top and stick it in place to make a cone shape. Use a bit more tape or a glue dot to stick this bit down too. Hey, what are you guys up to? Huh? Aha! Huh? Now, take a piece of... Get out of here, you two! As I was saying, take a scrap of your paper and cut out an ear shape. Think about what animal you're making and what shape ears they have. Using a bit of tape, stick these ears on the back of your cone head. There we go, there's one. And the other one. Hey, hang on. Who's been eating my pom-poms? Well, open your mouth then. Come on. Oh my. I'll just grab some of those. Using your glue, attach a pom-pom to the end of the cone as a nose. You'll probably have to wait a while for this to dry. Oh dear, plant beast, it wasn't that long. Now, using your pens, have some fun drawing on and decorating your cone face. It can sometimes be a little tricky to draw on because of the shape. Okay, that's looking great. Next, take your pipe cleaner and cut it into 6 pieces. Using a drawing pin, make 6 holes where you want your whiskers to go. When you've done that, you can poke your pipe cleaner whiskers in. Using one more bit of scrap paper, cut out a rectangle shape. Stick this in between the ears. And then fold it down. Taking your drawing pin again, just push it through. This is how you can hang it up, like this. Have fun trying different animals, imaginary creatures, or any character you like. time, we'll be making a puppy puppet. So get your hands warmed up and ready to go. Hey, BB Blue Box.
Hello.
Do you have any toilet rolls? Great! I love recycling. We will also need some string or wool, paint and a brush, some markers, straws, craft sticks, a hole punch, glue, scissors, and finally some googly eyes. Start off with just the toilet rolls. Any size will do. You're going to need one for the head and one for the body. This one is a bit too long. Now I can use the other half for the puppy's ears. Oh, Graham. Right, I'll just grab that hiding tube. Now, find a piece of scrap card to protect your table and grab your paint. I'm going to make my puppy yellow, but you can go for any colour you like. Leave one of the ends of your head roll unpainted. Next, grab your head roll and cut off that unpainted end. Then, with your scissors, cut out a long tongue shape. I'm going to put this to one side and then grab another one of my rolls. Draw on your puppy's ears and then cut these out. Get your head and your glue and stick the ears into place. You might have to prop these up or hold them in place while they're drying. That looks great! Now to decorate the face. Stick on your googly eyes. Then draw a nose and add some whisker spots. Find the tongue and colour that in too. Grab your glue and stick your tongue inside the tube. Ooh, lovely. Next, find your hole punch. Hey! Where do you think you're going? I need you, get back here. Phew. Now, let's get cracking. You need to punch 2 holes on one side of your roll. This will be the top of your body. Then, turn it upside down and punch 2 holes on either side. These will be for the legs. Now find your wool and cut 2 long pieces. Then grab your straw and cut it into 4 foot-sized bits. Take the end of your wool and thread it in one hole and out the other, just like this. Thread the straw feet onto the legs, then tie knots in the ends to secure them in place. You might need to tie a couple of knots so they're big enough that the straw doesn't slide off. Now we've got some bendy legs. Oh, I forgot about the tail. I'm going to use a pipe cleaner, but you can use whatever you want. Cut off a piece and stick it in place. Good dog. Now, grab your head and punch a hole between the ears. Then turn it over and make another hole underneath. If it's a bit tricky to make a hole between the ears, you might need to take them off and glue them back on again. Grab yourself a craft stick and line up your puppet. We're going to connect the tail end to the stick, the neck to the head, and the head to the stick. Like this. Tie some big knots in your string or wool to stop it from slipping through the holes. Stick on a second craft stick and you're good to go. Now have some fun puppeteering your puppy. You could also use your markers to add on extra decorations, like this. making a flying squid. So get your hands warmed up and ready to go. To start with, you'll need a cardboard tube. Any size will do. You'll also need some paper, different colours of tissue paper, some string, scissors and a marker, some double-sided tape, some glue, and finally a piece of dowel or a nice straight stick. Start off with just the tissue paper. Cut out a manageable size and then fold it into a small square. Grab your scissors and cut out a circle shape. Then cut the circle in half. Now you have lots of scale shapes. Collect those up and then do the same again with the other colours. Find your tube and your tape. Stick some tape around your tube and peel off the other side. Grab a scale and stick it on the tape. Start to layer them on using the different colours. If you don't have double-sided tape, you can use glue instead. Great question, Plant Beast. Yes, you can use any colours and styles that you like. Here's some colourful stripes, or just one colour decorated with spots. Grab your paper and your glue. Spread the glue around, you can use a brush if you want, and then stick some tissue paper onto the top. I've made a template for this next bit. Cut out a shape like this, or a triangle will also work great. Using your marker, draw around the template to get two identical head shapes. Then draw two eyes. Grab your scissors and cut it all out. I'm going to flip these eyes over and use the white side. I'll just draw on some details. Grab your tube and stick the eyes in place. Flip over one of the head pieces and then slide it underneath the body. Take the other piece and glue along these edges. Then it will look something like this. Trim away any of the edges that don't quite line up. I feel like we're missing something. Ah yeah, the tentacles. Ah, thanks Plant Beast. I didn't know squids actually had 8 arms and 2 tentacles. Grab some more tissue paper and cut out lots of long strips. Then do it again with the other colours. Find your squid and your tape. We need to put pieces of double-sided tape on the inside of our tube. Like this. Fill the tube up and keep any extras for your other creations. Now we have the squid's arms and tentacles. Grab your string and attach it to the top of your flying squid. Then attach the other end to your dowel. Now your squid can soar through the skies. You could also try making some different animals, like birds or fish. This time, we'll be making a leaf mask. So get your hands warmed up and ready to go. Grab yourself a leaf. You'll also need some scissors and some coloured pens. Start with just the leaf. Any leaf will do, but the ones that are bigger might fit your face better. First, if you've got the time, sandwich your leaf between two pieces of kitchen roll. Take a book and slide it inside. You'll have to wait for a while for it to flatten out. Nice beard, Nigel.
Oh.
Now, take your leaf out of the book and using some wool or string or a measuring stick, measure the distance between your eyes. Mark this distance on your leaf. Take a pen and draw two eye shapes around your marks. Using your scissors, really carefully poke a hole in the leaf. Get a grown-up to help you if it's too tricky. Then you can carry on cutting out the eye holes. Perfect. And I'll just do this other one. Okay. Now decide what colours you want for your mask. I'm going to make a fox, so I'm going to need red, orange and black. Grab your leaf and use the black to draw a nose. There we go. Using a piece of scrap paper to stop yourself from drawing on the table, outline the edge of the eyes. Next, I'm going to use my red pen to draw on some whisker spots. Now, with the orange, I'm going to make a fluffy forehead. Remember, you can pause this video whenever you like, and if you miss a bit, you can just rewind and watch it again. Right, let's get back to that fluffy forehead. Smashing. Yeah, I think you're right, Dizzy. It needs something else. A white pen would be perfect. Thanks, Dizzy. Use the pen to draw triangle shapes where the ears would go. Don't worry about it getting messy, it's all part of the fun. Next, I'm going to draw on some whiskers. For the final step, I'm going to use the black pen again to draw around the ear triangles to really make them pop. And there you have it. Check out these other masks we made. Try experimenting with different shapes leaves and sizes. Oh, Graham! This time, we'll be making a cardboard TV. So get your hands warmed up and ready to go. Grab yourself some card. This'll work. If you don't have a cardboard box that's already the right size, I'll show you how to make one. You'll also need a long piece of paper, some coloured card, marker pens, scissors or a craft knife, some rubber bands, tape, glue, a piece of clear recycled plastic, and lastly, some kitchen roll tubes. If you don't have an already made box, then start with your card. We're going to need to measure and cut out a front and a back, some side pieces and a bottom and a top. Before you cut your pieces out, stick on your coloured card. Great! Start off with just the front and the side pieces. Now you need to cut out a screen shape about here. Ask a grown-up to help if it's a bit tricky. Next, using a kitchen roll tube as a guide, trace out 2 circles on one of your side pieces. Cut those out and then line up the 2 side pieces. Trace and cut 2 more holes. Grab your bottom piece and flip it over. Then stick on the 2 sides and your top piece. You might need to hold this for a couple of minutes just to let your glue dry. When you're sure those are glued, stick on your bottom piece. Then grab one of your tubes. Oi, Graham, don't go in there. I need that tube. Oh, how weird. This one's a bit small. I'll grab a bigger one. Graham, where's he gone now? Grab your box and 2 long tubes. Slide them carefully through the holes, and if they're a little loose, you can add on rubber bands. This will stop them from slipping back out. Graham. Next, we're going to cut a piece of paper so it fits inside the box. We want this piece to be as long as possible. Perfect! Now, find your front piece and lining it up in the middle, draw out your screen shape. Continue this down the sheet, leaving a gap at the top and the bottom. The next bit is to get creative and draw out your story. Grab your cardboard TV and loop your story over the top. Using a piece of tape, stick the bottom in place. Now, using the edges of the roll, turn your tube and roll up your paper. When the top is in place, stick it down onto the top tube. Grab the front of your box and your piece of plastic. Stick this in place under the hole. You can now either glue the top in place or tape along this edge if you'd like to create more stories and swap them out at a later date. Decorate the front of your TV and then you're ready to start watching.
Once upon a time, it was a peaceful day.
What's that noise? It's a peaceful car.
Look at those pretty
Flowers. Bzz, bzz. Look at those bees buzzing away, collecting nectar for their queen. To make honey!
Oh, that was a nice day, but it's time for bed. Good night.
Marvellous Mates!
This time, we'll be making a beaky biter. So get your hands warmed up and ready to go. Oh, those birds sound beautiful. How about we make one? To make your beaky biter, you'll need some scrap pieces of cardboard. You'll also need paper fasteners, drawing pins, paper, a ruler and a pencil, a craft knife or scissors, paint and brushes, a marker, a googly eye, feathers and some glue. Start off with just the cardboard. Grab your glue and your paper, then stick it on and cut round the edges. If you like, you could paint it instead. Flip your card over. Then, using a ruler, measure out identical rectangles. You'll need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8? No. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 6. You'll need 6 identical rectangles. This piece was big enough for 3. Using your craft knife or scissors, cut these out and flip them over. Here are the other 3 I've made. Now, to make a template, find a scrap of paper, then using one of your rectangles as a guide, cut it to the same size. Next, draw a dot right in the middle of your template, and then one either end, like this. Using your template, slide a card rectangle underneath. Now, with a drawing pin, poke 3 holes in your cardboard where you've drawn your dots. Do this again for all 6 pieces. Collect those up and find some more card. Either paint or stick more paper on top, and then draw out your bird's face. Cut this out and grab your paints. Paint on a nice beak design. You can make your beak just how you like it. Next, get your googly eye and stick it in place. Use your marker to add some outlines and decorations. Now, pick up the... Find your 6 rectangles and place one down like this. We're going to use these paper fasteners for the next bit. You have to poke them through your holes and then bend them out so they stay in place. Follow this order of rectangles and start with the hole in the middle. Once all the rectangles are connected together, your bird's body should squash and stretch. With it all stretched out, stick the head onto the last 2 rectangles with the bitey beak closed. When you squash up the body, the beak will open. Finally, grab your feathers. Hey, come back! Oh, Graham. I'll grab another feather. Stick your feathers onto the body, but only on the top rectangles, so it doesn't get stuck when you move it. Lovely. You could also try making different types of bitey animals. After all that hard work, I think I deserve some chips. Delicious. Hey, get out of here, beaky biter. Oh well, can't waste good chips.
Marvellous!
This time, we'll be making a shadow theatre. So get your hands warmed up and ready to go. For this make, you'll need a lot of cardboard. Okay. Maybe not this much. Sorry, Nigel. You'll also need a large piece of paper, almost as big as your biggest piece of cardboard. Grab some black paper, paper straws, a craft knife or scissors, a marker, pencil and tape. Finally, a glue gun if you have one, or just regular glue will do. Start off with your cardboard and cut it down into a large rectangle. Grab your marker and your scissors or craft knife and draw out a frame shape on your cardboard, like this, leaving some space around the edge. And then cut this out. Oh, hi, eyeball buddies. What are you guys doing here? Okay, see you later. Take your frame and measure along the base and up the side. Cut out a base piece that matches your measurement and 2 side pieces like this. Use your glue to stick it together at each of the corners. Great! Now it should stand up on its own. Next, measure the gap on the top and cut out a piece of cardboard to fit. Now we have a roof, a floor, and sides. Ah, hey guys, back again. They're acting weird. Grab your paper and using your theatre, measure how much you need to cut out. Recycle those scraps and now we have a good looking theatre. You could stop here if you want and start putting on shows, but I'm going to add some decorations, starting with the roof. Measure the whole distance from one corner to the other. Cut a piece of paper that's that size. I didn't have any paper that was that big, so I've had to stick 2 bits together. Fold your paper in half and then using your marker, draw out half of your design. Make sure the middle of it is on the folded side of the paper. Cut this out and open it up. Then use this as a template on some cardboard. Now you have a perfectly symmetrical decoration piece. Right guys, I can't have you interrupting anymore. Wait, what? How did you do that? Okay, enough now. Got ya! Huh? Come here you, and just stay here guys. Take your top piece and then carefully fold the edges round. Then stick it in place. Great stuff! For this next bit, I'm going to use some corrugated cardboard. Cut off 2 equal size pieces that are the height of your theatre. Now, tear off the top layer to reveal the folds underneath. This can be a little bit tricky. I'll just speed this up. Grab your theatre and stick these in place. Now you have some curtains. Other ways to decorate include adding on more curtain folds, side pieces, and some chairs. Have fun decorating yours and make it your own. To make your puppets, find your black card and cut out the shape of whatever it is you want to make. Then take a straw and stick it in place. This will help you when you want to move your puppet about. Oh, I think it's time for a performance. Dim the lights and put a torch or lamp behind your theatre. Today, we'll be making a sea turtle. So get your hands warmed up and ready to go. Right, grab some modelling clay. You'll need some green, some dark brown, some lighter brown, some dark green, and a little bit of white and black. I can't remember how to start this one. Hello? Oh yes, start with the shell. Thank you. Right, the shell. So grab your dark brown and smooth it out into a sphere. Then flatten out the bottom, just like this. Put that over to one side and grab your lighter brown. To make things easier, try warming up the clay in your hands by rolling it around and squishing it about a bit. You can also put the clay somewhere warm, but make sure you don't go near anything too hot. Once your clay is nice and warmed up, pinch off little pieces and roll them into balls. Then, squash these into circles. And then stick them all over your shell, like this. grab your green. Hey! Ah, missed it. Gotcha! Right, take your green and split it into 6 balls. One is a little bit smaller than the others, and one is a little bit bigger. Move the big and small balls to one side, and then start to flatten the others out. Pinch one of the ends, making kind of a raindrop shape. Roll the edges on the table like this if you want to smooth them out a bit more. Now do the same thing another 3 times. On these front 2, you just want to shape them and make them a bit more curved. Now we've got 4 flippers. Move them to the side and grab your large ball. This is going to become the head. So roll it out into a sausage shape and then bend up the neck like this. I'll put this to one side, and then using the small ball I'll make another little raindrop shape. Now, line up all of your pieces and place the shell on top. But don't worry if it's not quite right. You can take the shell back off, then move and squish the bits about. There we go, we've got the turtle's body. Now let's make the face. Grab the dark green and roll it out into a nice thin sausage. Loop it over to make the mouth size that you want, and then pinch off any extra. Using your fingers, smooth the end of the mouth back round. Great, we've made our mouth. Next, take some white and roll it out into 2 balls. Now do the same with some black, but make them much smaller. Take the mouth and stick it in place. I'm going to give this turtle a smile. Lastly, add on your white eyes. Then, take your small pieces of black, squash them flat and stick them on as pupils. All done! This time, we'll be making a sponge boat. So get your hands warmed up and ready to go. Grab yourself a sponge. You'll also need some craft sticks, strong tape, scissors and a craft knife, a permanent marker, some small wooden sticks, glue and finally some straws. Start off with a sponge, scissors and pen. If your sponge has a rough side, that'll be the top. So turn it upside down and grab your pen. Mark 3 points out like this, then connect them together to make a triangle shape. Do this again with the second sponge. Now using your scissors, cut these out. Now find your glue and your craft sticks. Hey, down here you! Grab your sponges and glue the two flat edges together. You'll need to wait a while for these to dry. Now, using a craft knife, carefully cut 3 holes in the top of your boat. These knives are really sharp, so make sure you get an adult to help you. Next, using your scissors, cut one of the craft sticks in half. Grab your glue again. We're going to glue the craft sticks into the holes to make the ship's masts. You're right, Dizzy. We need to wait for that glue to dry as well. Find your strong tape and cut out 2 equal size pieces. Stick these pieces together, sticky side to sticky side. If you like, you can use some smaller tape to decorate your sail. I'm going to make a cross on mine. We're using something called duct tape, Dizzy. That's because it's waterproof, so our sails should be okay if they get a bit wet. Right, back to the make. I've made 2 smaller sails to go with the big one. Grab your scissors and tidy up the edges by trimming off any of the tape you don't need. Do the same with the smaller sails. Now, where's that boat got to? Oh, hi Graham. Are you having fun on the boat? Great stuff. Now, get your smaller tape, or cut your bigger tape smaller, and wrap some around the top and the bottom of the craft stick masts. These will help the sails to stay in place. Get your small wooden sticks ready for the final bit of tape we're going to put on the middle mast. As you wrap the tape around, add in one of the small wooden sticks. Now, using your craft knife, carefully cut holes in the top and bottom of your sails. Be careful not to cut all the way through to the edge. Get your sail and slide it onto the mast, just like this. Oops, I've made this one a bit too big, but you can always take them back off and trim them down. Lovely. Sometimes the sails don't quite stay in place, so use bits of tape to keep them where you want them. Great! Next, it's time for the flag. Grab some more tape and wrap it around the small stick at the top of the mast. Then use your scissors to cut out a flag shape. And there we have it. Check out these others. You could draw on the sails if you like, or you could use patterned tape. Grab your straw and have some fun. This time, we'll be making a snappy creature. So get your hands warmed up and ready to go. Hey, BB Blue Box. Could we have some card, please? We will also need scissors, glue, some bottle caps, paint, pens, some paper or felt to decorate with, and finally, some googly eyes. Start with the card and the scissors. Take a ruler and line it up with one edge for your card. Then draw a line along the other side of the ruler. Then using your scissors, cut this shape out. We should end up with a nice long rectangle. Great! Next, you need to think about what kind of snapper you might want to make. Any creature is possible. I'm going to make a dragon. Now for this next bit, we'll need some card or paper to protect the table. Find the right colour paint for your creature and blob some on your rectangle, but try not to squeeze out too much. Now grab your brush and get painting. When it's dry, turn it over and paint the other side as well. Now, grab some glue and your bottle caps. You'll need 2 of these. Just put these to one side for a minute. And take your freshly painted card rectangle and fold it in half. Using your scissors, round off the edges or cut the creature to the shape you want it to be. But try not to cut the back where it's folded, or your creature may end up in 2 pieces. Find your bottle caps again, and then carefully glue them into your creature's mouth. You need to put them near the front like this. I'll just put this one in here. So you might have to hold these for a little bit, just so they stay in place while they dry. Now for the googly eyes. Stick on as many as you need. I just need 2 eyes for my creature. Now find your pen. Ah, there it is. Hey! Graham, you can't eat that. Right, with your pen, draw in your mouth details. I'm going to draw in the tongue and the throat at the back of the mouth. For my dragon creature, I'm going to decorate it with felt. I'm just cutting this piece into scales to go on its back. If cutting them all out in a line is a bit too tricky, you could try folding the felt instead. That way you can cut out just one shape, and this will give you lots of scales at once. Right, when did I put the paper for the next bit? Oh no, Graham, I needed that felt. Oh, perfect. Now, get some white card or paper for the teeth and cut out a small triangle. Repeat this to make as many teeth as you need, or use some magic. Once you've done that, get all your decorations together and using your glue, stick everything on the way you want it. Try not to use too much glue though, because it might get a bit messy. Come here, you. And that's how you make a snappy creature. This time, we'll be making a blazing blast rocket. So get your hands warmed up and ready to go. Grab yourself a cardboard tube. You can make any size rocket you like by cutting your tube to the right size. Either use it all and keep it tall, or cut it down and make it small. You'll also need lots of coloured card. You can make your rocket any colour you like. As well as those, you need some scissors, some glue, and a black marker pen. Start with the card colour you want your rocket's body to be. Grab your tube and use it to measure out how much of the card you need to cut. Mark this out with your pen and then using your scissors, carefully cut it out. Save the rest of the card for later. Now, using your glue, wrap and stick the card in place. Oh, Graham, you want to shoot up like a rocket too? Next, grab another colour of card. This will be your rocket's nose. Get your marker and draw a curved line, like this. This can be any size you want. Using your scissors, cut this out, and then roll it up and stick it in place. Chop off any of the bottom edge that doesn't quite line up. Now, grab your rocket's body and your glue and stick the cone on top. Excellent! For this next bit, grab the rest of the card you use for your rocket's body, or use a different colour if you like. Measure the height of your rocket and then cut out 2 wing shapes. Get your rocket and stick these wings onto the sides. You might need to hold them there for a while or find an adult who can help you with a glue gun. Great! Graham, you can't fly. You don't have wings. Find another colour of card. I've gone for something that's just a bit darker than my rocket's body. With your marker, draw out a window and a door shape. Cut these out, then make a smaller circle for the inside of your window. I've used some of the body colour. Glue the smaller circle in place and then using your pen, decorate your door and your window. I'm adding on bolts. This door could use a handle as well. Now, stick these in place and then use the marker to decorate the rest of your rocket. You can decorate it any way you like. Hey Nigel, can you hold this for me? To make your rocket's flames, get your red card and your marker. Nope. Nope. Ah, there we go. Lid off. Draw out a flame shape and then cut that out. Put this to the side and then grab your yellow card. Trace around your red flame and then draw a smaller flame inside. Cut it out and then stick the two together. Hot stuff! Thanks, Nigel. Lastly, just glue your fire into the bottom of your rocket. Right, I think we're ready for takeoff.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Blast off!
This time, we'll be making an egg box bug. So get your hands warmed up and ready to go. To start with, you'll need an egg box. Be careful, as they can be a little snappy. Good box. There you go. You'll also need some paint, brushes, marker pens, drawing pins, scissors, pipe cleaners, and finally some googly eyes. Put everything to one side, apart from your egg box and the scissors. Start by cutting away the top of the box, but hang on to it because we'll need that later on. We also need to cut off this flap at the front. Next, take one of your markers and draw the bug shape on the inside. I'm going to make a long bug and use 3 of the egg cups. Try to get an even height throughout your egg box. Then, using your scissors, you need to carefully cut this out. Sometimes it's easier just to roughly cut away larger bits first. Then you can make smaller cuts and tidy it up afterwards. Remember to recycle your scraps, or feed them to your plant beast. Grab your paint, any colour is great, and pour some into your egg box lid. Now find your brush and get painting. My paint's a bit see-through. You might need to do more than one coat. Using your marker pens, have some fun decorating your bug. The crazier the better. So I'm just going round and drawing a few spots in different places. Try using all sorts of different colours and patterns to really make your bug stand out. Lovely! So for this next bit, you're going to need a drawing pin.
Over here taking out pins.
Pardon me.
Just hold on.
Take your pin and carefully poke holes where you want your bug's legs to go. Think about how big your bug is and how many legs they're going to need. For my bug, I'm going to make 12 holes. Next, grab your scissors and pipe cleaners and cut some legs. Oops, I think I've made that one a bit too short. One way to get all the legs the same size is to fold the pipe cleaner in half and then just cut at the fold. Cut these 2 shorter pieces in half again to make 4 legs. Do it all again with another pipe cleaner, giving us 8 legs. Another way to cut them is to use one leg that you've already got to measure the others. Okay, take a leg and just poke one end through a pinhole. Poke through just enough that you can fold it down to hold it in place. Right, now for the other legs. Oh, I'm 2 legs short. I'll just cut some more. Huh? Hey! Come back! Okay, I'll just put these 2 last burp legs into the holes. Excellent. Where did I put those googly eyes? Ah, there they are. Take the googly eyes and stick as many as your bug needs on its face. That looks great. Here are some others we made. Huh? Where's it gone? Get back here, you. This time, we'll be making a chunky bat. So get your hands warmed up and ready to go. Grab yourself a dark colour of modelling clay. It can be any colour you like. Then add some matching lighter colour, a bit of white, red and a little bit of black. You'll also need some little wooden sticks. Start with just the dark colour and pinch off a bit for later. Warm the clay up in your hands to make it softer, and then roll it into a sausage. Choose one of the ends and then just roll that side to make it a bit thinner. Smooth out both the small and the big end, and now you should have something that looks a bit like a pear shape. Put that to one side and then grab the other piece. Roll it into a ball. Oh dear, that's not going to be enough. I'll just get some more. Hey, that's weird. Ah well, I can use that later. Now, roll the small balls into tree trunk shapes. These are going to be the bat's legs. Get two of your little sticks and push them into the top of the legs. Then push these leg sticks into the bigger end of the pear shape. Now I'm just going to smooth these in. Don't worry if yours looks a bit different. Chunky bats come in all shapes and sizes. There we go. Grab some more of your darker colour and roll it into a ball. Squash this out flat and then pinch one of the sides to make a pointy ear shape. Make another one just like it. Grab the rest of your dark colour and roll it into an oval head shape. Now, using a clay tool, a small spoon or a stick, dig out the shape of a mouth. This can be a bit tricky, so don't worry if yours doesn't turn out quite the same. It'll just have more character. I'm just going to smooth out the edges, and then using my tool, smooth the inside of the mouth. Hey, I needed that! Now, put your head to one side and grab your white, red and black. Oh, no. They can't be in here, can they? Maybe in this. Oh! Ah, they're here on the mat already. Get your white and roll out two small sphere shapes. Flatten one side out on the table. Next, do the same again, but make these spheres pointy. These are going to be our bat fangs. Then, using the red clay, make a little tongue. Just a bump shape will do. Lastly, using the black, roll two tiny balls which will be our bat's pupils. Stick these onto your white eyes and then stick all of it onto the face. To finish off your ears, get your lighter colour, then roll two balls and squash them into really flat circles. Stick these at the bottom of the ears. Then, using a tool, ruler or stick, cut the ends flat so it's easier to stick them onto the head. Find your little sticks again and use some to attach the ears onto the head. And then attach the head onto the body. Oh dear, you need some wings. Grab your lighter colour and split it into two balls. Flatten both of them and then cut out the shape of a wing. After you've cut it out, you can always squash the shape around a bit more. Make the other wing and then grab some of your darker colour. Roll this out into a long thin sausage. Use this to add on the bat's fingers, just like this. But don't worry if your bat has a different number of fingers. Add some more of the little sticks for support. And then attach your bat's wings to its body. That's better. This time we'll be making a hungry frog. So get your hands warmed up and ready to go. Bless you. All out of tissues. Well, grab the box. We're going to use it to make our frog. You'll also need some green, red and orange paint, some brushes, a black and green marker, some glue, pom-poms, some coloured card and some scissors. Start off with just the red paint. Oh, pom-poms, I don't need you yet. Along with a paintbrush and your tissue box. Squeeze some paint into the inside of the box and get painting. Put that to one side to dry and grab some card. I'm going to use this tissue box lid, but you could use any card. Get your green marker and draw 2 big circles. These are going to be your frog's eyes. Find your scissors and cut them out. Hey, where are you off to? Get back here. Grab your tissue box and using some glue, stick the eyes into place. Then, using your black marker, draw on some pupils. Add in some nostrils and outline the mouth. Wonderful! Right, take your red card and cut out a really long tongue. Use your marker to draw a line right down the middle. This makes it look a bit more like a tongue. Then glue the flat end into the bottom of the frog's mouth. You may have to hold it for a moment to make it stick. Now, grab your green card, orange paint and a brush. Squeeze out some paint and cover the bottom quarter of your card. Wait for this to dry. Then, using your marker, draw on some big froggy legs. Make sure to draw the feet in the orange part. Draw 2 smaller legs to go with them. Don't worry about getting them perfect. I better squash this one in. Once you've drawn those, cut them out. Now, using your glue, stick the 2 smaller legs onto the front of your tissue box. I'll just move this one out of the way for now. Take your longer leg and stick the top ends like this. Then curl the top down and stick it like this to create a bendy frog leg. Do exactly the same thing on the other side. Oh dear. To make some flies for your frog to eat, grab your pom-poms and some white card. Fold your card in half and then draw on lots of wing shapes. Then grab your scissors and cut these out. Unfold this and you've got a tiny pair of wings. Then take a pom-pom and glue on some wings. This can be quite fiddly. Make as many flies as you need and then gather them up. Catch your frog and find a good place for him to sit. Then grab your flies and get chucking. Get as many in his mouth as you can. You could even try making different shoebox animals that eat different things. Oh, okay, you can have one too. This time, we're going to be making a penguin pal. So get your hands warmed up and ready to go. For this make, you'll need some rubber bands. You'll also need some old socks, rice, felt, a marker, scissors, some googly eyes and some glue. Start off with just a black sock and your rice. That's a good question, Dizzy. If you don't have different coloured socks, or socks at all, you could replace them with felt or fabric. Grab your sock and fill it up with lots of rice. The amount you'll need will depend on the size of your sock. Stop when you have a nice round body, like this. Now, grab one of your elastic bands and secure the sock, twisting the band over and repeating until the rice can't get out. Then, do those steps again to make a head shape. Great! Now we have our head and our body. Put your penguin to one side and find your white sock or fabric. Grab your scissors and cut out a circle shape. You can trim the edges to tidy them up a bit if you need to, like me. Now, get your penguin and your glue and glue your white circle onto your penguin's belly. If you're using PVA glue, hold this in place while it dries, or use a hot glue gun to speed things up. Mine had to fold a bit to fit on, so don't worry if yours has some bumps and creases. Now, grab your wing sock. Where did I put my scissors? Hang on, Graham, I'll help you. There we go. Now take your sock and cut off the rounded toe end. Then cut around the edge like this to get two wing shapes. Using your glue, stick the top of the wing in place so your penguin can flap about. Do the same on the other side. Find your felt and cut out a triangle beak shape. Then cut out another one the same size. Now cut out some feet from the rest of the orange. I've left my feet joined together to keep them in place when I stick them to the body. Now grab your red felt and cut out a small tongue that fits inside the beak. Use your marker to add on a black line and then stick it in place. Grab your penguin pal and stick on the feet. Find the beak piece with the tongue and stick it onto the bottom of your penguin's face. Use a hot glue gun or use PVA glue and hold it in place. Now stick on the top of the beak. Then grab your googly eyes and stick those in place. Great! Finally, you can decide what to do with your penguin's hair. You can either leave it long as it is, cut it short, or you could fold it and stick it down like this. There you have it, your penguin pal. This time, we'll be making a playful pizza. So get your hands warmed up and ready to go. To make this tasty modelling clay pizza, we'll need some light brown, red, yellow, a bit of green, some white, purple, and some black. Start off with the brown and save a little bit for later. We're going to need to flatten this into a circle. So use your hands, or a rolling pin if you have one. Once you have a nice flat base, move it to the side, and then grab the rest of your brown modelling clay. Roll this out into a long sausage shape. Then, when it's the right length, wrap it around your base to make your pizza crust. I've made that a bit too long. So I'll just pinch off the extra here and then smooth it together. There we go. Now, get your red and roll it out super flat. Move that to one side and find your yellow. Oh, I'll just clean this up. That's better. Now flatten out your clay just like this. No, wait, Graham! Oh, if your plasticine does rip or get eaten in half, then just squidge it back together, good as new. Now, put the tomato sauce on your pizza base and then put the cheese on top. Next, find your white and pinch off a piece. Roll this into a ball and then flatten it out. Using a cutting tool or a stick, carefully cut out little triangle shapes, just like this. Smooth out the edges, and now you have a mushroom. If your modelling clay is sticking to the table, try using some leftovers to lift it up. Right, I'm just going to make some more. Ah, Graham! Now, take your green and pinch off a bit, then roll this out into a sausage. Squash this out nice and flat and then peel it off the table. Curl in each end and shape it to look like a nice slice of tasty green pepper. With your purple, pinch off a piece and then roll out another even longer sausage. And then flatten that out as well. Loop that around to make a circle and smooth out the join. Now we've got some red onion. Use these to decorate your pizza and make a whole bunch more to fill it up. Finally, grab your black to make some olives. Roll out a circle and flatten it out, but not too flat. Using a pen lid or a straw, push it through the middle to make a hole. I'll just smooth that out a little, and now we've got a tasty olive. Make yourself a few more to finish off your pizza. And there we have it. Graham, it's not for you. Check out this one made by Toby. He's even put a face on it. Experiment with your favourite toppings and make it your own. Better luck next time, Graham.
Marvellous!